Imagine this. The sun is shining. The whistles are blowing. Kids are sprinting, laughing, and cheering. Yes, it's field day. That one magical day of the year where classroom rules take a back seat to tug-of-war, relay races, and popsicles. Today, we're sharing our favorite field day memories, behind-the-scenes chaos, and why is this day a highlight not just for students, but for teachers too.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Teachers on the Loose, the podcast where we turn teacher tales into belly laughs and life lessons. I'm Celeste.
I'm Allison.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Kristen.
Today we're breaking down one of the most legendary days in elementary school, field day. From soaking wet shoes to surprise victories, this one's got it all.
But before we get into all that, guys, we just did our episode about chicks, and I just wanted to tell you that one of our listeners was telling us how this week at their school they're hatching chicks. And yes, and they're like 6 days away from their chicks hatching. And it was also I know, it's so exciting.
Exciting.
It is very exciting. And so they are getting ready for that. Well, it was also Easter not too long ago. A coworker of the listener said that they found, like, one of their students brought in an egg from Easter, and it was a hard-boiled egg, and they gave it to him and said, "Hey, here's an egg for you." And he forgot about it in his room for a week.
No.
And so, like, unrefrigerated, it's just a hard-boiled egg.
Gross.
And so he went and hid it in one of the teachers' rooms who's hatching chicks right now. They found it. They found it today, and she came in and she was like, "Hey, we've been passing this rotten egg around and getting ready for chicks. At first, when I found it, I thought that it was actually one of my chick eggs. Like, I was like, why is this out of the incubator? But then I realized it was just somebody playing a joke on me." And so anyway, so the shenanigans are continuing. It's just chick shenanigan season now, I guess.
I love that.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back into today's episode. And, well, first of all, what is field day?
Oh, field day's the best. It's a whole day dedicated to all things sports and outdoor fun. Usually at our school, the PE teacher sets up a bunch of different activities outside and inside, and the kids go around with their class and they do all the games, tug of war, and we've had a dunk tank and 3-leg relay, all sorts of fun things.
It's just the best.
Yeah, it's a great day of all outdoor fun and competition.
You know, I remember having field day as a kid. Did you guys have field day?
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
Sure. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Sure.
Like, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yours is probably at the beach, Kristen.
Yeah, we called it beach day.
Really?
field
For
day.
real?
You didn't
Oh, I'm like, really? Tell us about it. Did you guys do, like, who can hold their breath the longest
Underwater?
Sandcastle
Oh,
competition.
yes.
Oh, who had the best mermaid hair? Like,
Oh,
flip
yeah.
your hair back and be like Ariel.
And then who can swim out to the buoy and back the fastest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you could, like, have
Surfing
the...
contest?
Yeah, we did it all on beach day.
I feel like you're lying.
You could have,
but
like,
okay.
a spoon and,
We'll
like...
dream.
Go to the ocean and get a spoonful of water and
Oh,
then try to
yes.
fill up the cup the
Yes.
fastest, a
Yeah.
relay
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
Dang, we have great ideas for
We
this
should
beach
just
field
move
day.
to the
Back on the
beach.
mainland, we had lots of fun at field day. I remember lots of competition and just like having a great day.
I just remember a lot of running. When I look at field day for kids now, I feel like it's more games than it is running. I think we just
Yeah.
had to run.
I mean, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but you guys are looking at and listening to the first grade first placer, along with my classmate, Stephanie. Stephanie and I won the back-to-back competition in first grade.
What do you mean
Yeah.
back to back? You're back to
You've
back?
never you loop your arms.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And you have to stay back to back.
Yeah.
And you race to the 50-yard dash line, and whoever gets there first wins. And Stephanie and I took first place of all first graders.
Oh,
Wow, I can't
Dang.
believe we're sitting here.
Talent.
I know,
right
I know.
there.
Champion.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of my flexes, but it's okay. Not everybody can be great at back to back, but I was.
You were. Was that?
Was or M?
Was
Should
because
we try it later?
well, I think we should try it.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Can we do a Teachers on
Celeste's
the
gonna
Loose
hurt
field day?
herself. Yes.
We
yes.
need to go set up some games and we need to go play.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely. Well, not right now. It's raining.
Like,
but
All I can
like
tell,
drinking
someone's.
games?
Oh,
maybe.
I know for sure someone's
wait,
gonna get hurt.
text Joe.
Go get
Joe,
more Fresca.
No, Joe, go surprise us and put a game in the living room.
No.
Just
Yes.
one. Tell him to pick one.
Okay. Look at so. Oh.
I want to kick you.
I know.
You will.
But you'll hurt yourself. You'll hurt a toe. You only have
You'll be
like
down
6
to
of those
7.
left.
Okay, wait. I have a question though.
Okay, what's your question?
What happened in second grade, Allison?
You and Stephanie didn't win,
I
did
was
you?
gonna say, Stephanie, if you're listening, we tried our darndest, didn't we? I don't know. We kind of peaked in first grade. I don't know if like a new kid moved to town or if we just got slower, but we did not take first. I don't even remember getting a ribbon second grade year.
Wow.
You win
yeah.
some, you lose some.
But you know what? It doesn't matter because in first grade, I got the ribbon. You know?
You did it.
Yeah.
I'm so
Like,
proud of you.
Nice
I-
work. What's your favorite field day activity?
Tough question, but I have to go with the classic tug of war.
Yeah, I do love that one.
No.
I mean, I don't like it.
Oh,
It hurts.
No, I like watching kids do it. I led it one year.
Oh.
I was the person, and they
that's
get
right.
real into it. It's real exciting.
I love at the end after the kids are done because then I get to get in there and I get to like whoop up on some elementary school kids and win.
And you really see their personalities that come out because if they're competitive, they will be not too happy with you. If they're not, they're like, all right, good game.
Yeah, and I love when it's just maybe a little bit muddy and they fall and then they get up and they're covered in mud and dirt and you're just like,
Those poor kids.
My favorite game is in the library. They go and play Hungry Hippos. They get the little scooters and they lay on their bellies, and then they have to try to grab all of the big softball sized pom poms, and somebody's pushing their feet into the middle.
Yes.
And then they grab all the pom poms and they pull them back. And
like a
then
little vacuum.
Yeah. I
That is a
love
good one.
that.
Mine
I love
is
that
the
one.
parachute. I had to think about
Good
that because
answer.
that is something that I think we all did, right? When
Classic.
we were growing up. Yeah. And so I love that one. I love when we, go under the parachute and the kids are always just so amazed, like, wow.
My best
That is a
pictures of
good
my
one.
classes are under there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
I
the
love
bright
that.
colors and
Yeah.
the grass, and they're happy. And okay, so what's your favorite, Kels?
Well, oh gosh, there's so many good ones. One that I didn't have when I was in elementary school, but one we've done every year is drum fit.
Oh, the best.
Oh my
That's a good
goodness.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you're the teacher that's in there all day, man, you are getting a workout.
Oh yeah.
That is intense. All
So
day
wait,
long.
explain to our listeners how that works.
Okay, so drum fit is a giant yoga ball on top of a 5-gallon bucket. And the students have drumsticks and the teacher plays music and you have to drum to the beat on the yoga ball, jump around and do all these different dance moves, and you're moving and grooving the entire time. So I was talking to our PE teacher about field day this year and what activities he's putting in there. And he was telling me about the new one that he found that he might add. It's called the 50-yard yell.
Yodeling.
The students at the start of the starting line, they take a deep breath and they run and scream, and and they only have one breath. So once their yell is done, that's where they stop.
So whoever makes it the farthest,
Yeah.
who's going to be, what if they pass out?
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
there's gonna
this
be
seems
kids
like
that
a
are
bad
gonna be
idea.
like-
Yeah.
There's gonna be
Don't
kids
do it.
cheating on that one.
Like, ah.
You're gonna have to like hold their nose.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna be breathing in through their nose.
Do you
and
need
I
like
didn't take a breath.
clothespins on their noses?
It's an interesting
All right,
one.
you know what? Go ahead and try it.
It's still
and
up
let
for
us know how it
debate.
goes.
Yeah, should be
I
interesting.
don't do it at our school.
Say your name if you get too competitive on field day.
Celeste.
I didn't say anything.
We all know it's you.
I will admit I have a really hard time watching when it's like a class competition and my class isn't winning. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, come on, get it together.
You know, it's one that the kids always have fun with every year, but I would never want to be the person in there. The dunk tank.
Do you want to hear
No
my
way.
dunk
I
tank
can't.
story?
I
You were in
can't
the
get in
dunk
that
tank?
water.
No.
Oh.
Remember? So my sweet student teacher
Yes.
had her very first class, and she was such a great teacher. And she's like, I'm going to go in the dunk tank and I'm going to let my kids dunk me.
Oh,
We were right behind her class.
And I come out and she has blood dripping from her nose.
Yeah.
And then she's soaking
massive.
wet. And I'm like, oh, what happened? And I guess the minute she hit the water, it just instant bloody nose.
I was so proud of her. She's a first year teacher, and here she is in her like shorts and a t-shirt, her swim clothes, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What? You are amazing!" And she gets, she sits on the little bench. She's all happy, and the kids are so excited. We're gonna get our teacher. Like you said, the very first one. Yeah, she hit the water just right, just wrong.
Just wrong. Probably.
Yeah.
It's
Wrong.
just like, yeah.
The water just shoved up her
Yes.
nose or what?
I
Yeah.
Is that it?
don't.
Yeah.
Was it
know.
cold water?
No, it was warm water. It
Oh,
just
okay.
she hit it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't hit it on
She
anything,
gets points
right?
for going in there for sure.
Yeah, totally.
I
I didn't
never
go
went
in
in.
there.
I can't do it.
No thanks.
It's
I-
the water skeeves me out.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, no thanks. Don't sign me up for that.
My favorite, though,
want that.
is the sweet volunteers that sit up there because, you know, being at a primary K-1-2 school, let's be real, their aim is not the best. And so after a while, the kids would keep missing, and they'd let them just go up and hit the button
Yeah.
so that they could make them fall in the water.
We definitely had some amazing parents and teachers that would do that. It's
Yeah.
impressive. Yep.
Allison, you have one of my students from last year, and her dad did it last year, so I'm
Oh, yeah.
assuming he will
He'll
again.
probably be up there this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no thanks.
Yeah, the dunk tank is super fun, except when something goes wrong. Like my little girl who went up there, they said, you know what? You've missed too many times. Go ahead and just hit the button. And she got her finger on the return and it's smashed her finger in there. So she had to go to the nurse and get a band-aid. She was okay. Like no fingers were lost in this, but it did put a damper on the day for her because it did hurt quite a bit. It looked very painful. So I'm just curious, has there been any other like epic fails that have happened during field day?
I am thinking of the one game. It was a water game. There was a PVC pipe, and they drilled a whole bunch of holes into the sides of the PVC pipe. And the goal was fill the pipe with water, but you have to use your hands and your fingers to cover all the holes. You have to run as a team, covering all the holes across the way, and then dump the water into the bucket. And when I tell you that my class failed at this, they failed miserably. There was so much arguing. There was so many tears. It was not a go for us.
There was no team building happening.
There was building happening. It was not team building.
Resentment building.
It was like, who's on my list of people I no longer like. Yeah. They walked away from that
poor
one a little frustrated.
Poor kids. I know they take the water right out of the hose. And there was one year when it was like a cold, rainy day, and they're out there going, my hands hurt too much because they're putting their hands into that cold water from the hose, and then the wind is blowing, and they're like, get your hand over here, we're losing.
And they get water all over them too.
Oh, and they're soaked, and then they're like, can we go in and change? And we're like, no, we have to get to the next station. They're just, there have been some miserable days, but most of the time we get sun.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
What about the shoe one, Kristen? Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. My class, we had a shoe kicking off. I don't even know what it's
you
called.
had to you had to loosen one of your shoes and kick it and try and see how far you could get your shoe to go.
Yeah. So we were right next to the building for this game. And there was a metal awning kind of above the window. It was just decorative. And sure enough, a few of my students kicked their shoes on top of that. And I was like, oh no, it's too high. Tall people won't be able to reach it. I don't know where our custodian, Mr. Rudy, who saves today, he was busy doing all sorts of other stuff. So Mom came up to me and she's like, why don't I lift you up and I'll hold you? And so I'm like, I was pretty high and you somehow get the shoe off. And so I was able to like get the shoe off, but I was like way up high in the air.
You're like on her shoulders?
I don't know how she had
Did
me.
she just like
she
manhandle
might have been
you?
like a cheerleader
wait,
pose. She let
Yes.
someone touch her.
Yes. Not
5,
like,
6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, why didn't she just pick up her kid?
it was still too high.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
So I look over and all I see is Kristen up in
Yeah.
the air, reaching for the shoe. I'm like, what is happening?
I was nervous.
Explain
'Cause
that workman's comp.
I was
got a
in the air.
concussion.
I got the shoe down, but yeah, sure enough, I turned and I saw you looking, Celeste, and you were trying to fumble to get your phone out, but
Probably. I was like, I gotta get this.
I jumped down. I got down before that happened, but yeah. So you never know what's going to happen at field day.
Never know what's gonna happen.
I love it.
If we were to make a field day just for teachers with like competitions of teacher related games, what kind of games do you think there would be? Or what kind of
Like what are we good at?
yeah, like what could we
that-
turn into
yeah.
a game that we could win?
I would win the competition for who could make a spreadsheet the fastest.
Oh, and it would be color coordinated.
Heck yeah, it would.
And it would be calculating effect size.
Yeah, there'd be formulas
there'll be
all up
graphs.
in that. Yeah.
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 Multiple different ways to show the data.
That's right.
Pie graph, got it.
Yep. On it.
Bar graph.
Done.
Yep. Picture graph.
Done.
Here we go.
Yep.
How about you, Celeste?
Maybe the fastest copier jam fixer.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
Like,
good at that.
you get in there.
The laminator.
Oh, I hate Bertha.
We
Your
named
laminator as a
named
name.
Yeah, she is named Bertha because she's a bee.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the directions that came with her are very unclear, and it's
Yeah.
really difficult to thread the things in the right place. And
Oh, Bertha.
Bertha,
I think at one point I told her, call Allison. She knows.
I brought Allison.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think I did. I was
you
there to help
came
set it
on the
up.
very first time, and
Yeah.
I was like, Allison, you've done this a million times. Get over here.
Yeah. I did, didn't I?
You sure did.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Kristen? What would be your
What am I
field
good
day
at? There's so many things that I'm amazing at, but
I love how humble you are, Kristen.
that's one of them.
And humble.
She gets the award for being the most humble.
Oh, I absolutely.
I do like to cricket and put vinyl on everything. My hooks in my classroom, numbers have vinyl. I have vinyl for my table, numbers on my board.
So who could cricket a classroom the fastest? You would
Yeah,
win
and
that
have it
one?
all
Oh, you would
organized.
totally win.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even participate because I know I would lose.
Allison would win for storytelling.
Oh, yeah. You would.
You don't even need a book.
She goes,
They'll give you a topic
Yeah.
and you'll be like, I got a story for this.
I do. I tie in
Yeah.
some personal stories
Yeah.
sometimes.
No, I do love when you tell stories. And sometimes I'm like,
Okay.
is this your life? Like, how does all this happen?
all right, so beyond all the popsicles and the parachutes, you know what? There's actually something really beautiful about field day. It's not just a day of play. It's a day when we get to see kids shine in ways the classroom doesn't always reveal.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
I was just thinking you were going to say that we didn't have to teach and make lessons.
That's the day I shine.
I shine because I don't have to write lesson
joking.
plans.
I shine because I thrive in chaos. Field day is just like what you said, Celeste. It's a day where we all shine, But it's also a time where we get to see all of the things that we've taught our kids throughout the year, like how to be a good sport, how to lose gracefully, how to support each other no matter what abilities. I remember like one time the police officer or SRO came and they had helmets and they let the kids ride their bikes through a little course, and it was tight quarters. But on that day, they got one of our friends out of their wheelchair and onto an adaptive bike, and he was pedaling, and it wasn't competitive anymore. It was my kids standing on the sideline cheering him on, and they were like, "You can do it!" And they were so happy to see him riding a bike.
Wow.
And it was those moments that also all kids shine. It's not just taking first place at the 50-yard dash, but it's also being able to shine in all of those other skills that we've taught them throughout the year.
That's what it's all about right there.
Yeah.
All right. You know, we've had some field days where the weather has just been so beautiful, so sunny. You probably get a sunburn. It's just perfect. And then there's other years where it's rainy, wet, cold, miserable. And one year I loved how everything was set to go outside, and our PE teacher and our principal was like, we're still going to do this because, you know, we as a teacher, we're like, oh, no, it's not going to be field day. I don't have anything planned for my students. What are we going to do? And so they were able to bring everything inside. The parent volunteers, they still showed up, and we had activities in the hallway. We had activities in the gym, in classrooms. I loved how everyone just came together and made it work, because truly the children, the students are just, this is like one of their favorite days. And we were able to, you could say, pivot and, you know, make a change that made it still one of the best experiences of that school year for our students. So
Yeah. And you bring up a good point. It always amazes me how many people it takes to put on a field day, and how the community of parents come in and help each other out and pull it all together. And at the end of the day, you're like, holy cow, we just pulled that off. Like the whole entire school was like, think about when you're doing rotations within a grade level, they're doing rotations throughout the whole entire school, and all the people that it takes to put that together. So
Yeah, it's a lot of planning and a lot of preparation, and it's pretty awesome day for our students. But
yeah. And those parent volunteers, they have so much energy. I mean, they have classes rotating all day long. They're in the sun or the rain, and they're just like cheering the kids on and having the best time. And I look at them, I'm like, I don't know how you guys did this all day long, even though they look at us all the time and they're like, I don't know how you guys teach all day long. But, you know, we all have our thing, and we can't do all of this, any of this, without one another.
if you were a parent volunteer, what would be your least favorite station to be at all day long?
Any of the water ones?
That's what I was going to say. The dunk tank.
I was going to say the chalk. I
Why?
would hate
Because it's
that.
boring. You just, here's chalk.
Yeah, because the kids are so excited and they're like, woohoo, dunk tank! I get to ride a bike through an obstacle course. I get to run as fast as I can. Here's my chalk. And then they just sit there and they mess around and they're like writing naughty words.
What?
No, I'm just joking.
What?
Who
Your
did it?
students?
No.
Do they spell them
No,
correctly?
me. I
Oh,
was
you
writing
were
naughty.
writing-
No, I'm just joking. No, I would hate to be in charge of the. And there's no shade on those
Yeah.
hot days, and there's no shade on those rainy days. Like, there's no. You're out in the elements all day long.
We always end up there like one of the last groups, and so there's no sidewalk left to chalk up.
Or like add to someone else's picture.
Yeah.
But do it nicely.
Yeah. What's one of your, like, if you, Kelsey, were a parent volunteer, because you are going to have a student in a couple years, right? At your school.
Yeah.
If you were a parent volunteer, what do you not want to do?
Okay, there's one that there looked like a giant rubber band, and the kids had to stand inside of it in pairs and like walk and move their hands so the rubber band thing like moved around them. Does that make
sounds
sense?
awful. Yeah.
It was, the kids had a hard time and it was very hard.
I remember that one. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, and then the parent volunteer had to go and run and get it because by the time they got to the end, they were like, "I'm not getting back in that thing again." And then the parent volunteer had to run and get it and bring it all the way back to the beginning for the kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't think I would want this one. One year when we did a joint one between our school and the other school right next to us, there was one where the fire hoses were there, and there was a bucket on a
Oh, I
on
like
a
that
string
one.
milk jug.
in
I
the
like
middle,
it.
and you had
Yeah.
to squirt the hose at the jug to try to get it across the line. I would not like that one because you'd be real wet by the end of the day.
Yeah, and the
Anyway.
kids ended up just like shooting each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It probably wasn't a fire hose. It was probably like,
And just
A water
garden
I think it
hose?
was just a regular hose, but it had a spray nozzle on it.
okay.
I think a fire hose would actually be more fun.
Oh gosh, knock the kids over.
I think my favorite ones though are like ones kids have to compete by themselves, and so the rest of the class is like watching and cheering them on. I think that's my favorite, just to see the kids cheering each other on.
Yeah.
You know, this is kind of old school, but I don't know. Not it's like memory lane now. So many fun memories, but I don't know. I like when they had to do the spoon with the egg and go back and forth. I don't know. That's just fun. It reminds me of when I was a little girl having birthday parties, and that was one of the things. And Easter parties or whatever.
And the sack race, the potato sack race. You gotta put your feet in it and hop.
That
Did you guys
was fun.
have to do the standing long jump?
No.
That was a North Dakota
I
thing.
don't remember
Yep.
that one.
But
You
yeah,
just
we
stand there and jump.
And then they marked it on the sidewalk with
yes, yes.
chalk. And then whoever jumped the furthest. I did not get a ribbon for that one in first or second grade.
Third.
No.
And then my favorite part is when field day's over and we put on a movie and they all fall asleep. The end.
They all have energy still, and I'm just like, could you guys just sit quietly in the dark and watch a movie and don't talk? Just kidding.
Kidding, not kidding.
Are you?
No.
All right, listeners on the loose, we want to hear all about your field day fun. So send us a message on Instagram at Teachers on the Loose or on X at TeachersOTL and send us your favorite field day memories. You never know, we might just feature you in an upcoming episode.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, laughter is the best part of any workday, even if it's field day.
That's right, people. So get out there and have some fun with your kids at field day, even if it means you jump in and join in on the festivities.
All right, guys. Join us next week when we talk all about the end of the year, when the kids start acting like siblings stuck in a car on a long road trip and they've run out of snacks.
I like it, though, because it's so true.
I know, right? Yeah.
That's my favorite.
It's not.
No, it's not my
no.
favorite.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
That's right, people. So get out there, show your competitive spirit, and knock those kids down. No? Okay, hold on. Field day. Haha, I win.
No.
Celeste, don't
Sister
knock
Nina.
those kids down.
That's only you, Kristen.
Well,
Okay,
there's
I
a
got
bat.
it. I got it. That's right, people. So get out there and have some fun with your kids at field day, even if it means you jump in and join in on the festivities and take first place. we let the children win?
What?
No.
What?
They
Well,
got to
I mean,
learn some life
sometimes.
lessons.
Yeah, it's okay.
Can't always be a winner. I mean, you always have to be a winner.
Celeste never learned that life lesson.
I did not learn
If
that.
you're not first, you're last.
That's right. Second place is the first loser.